So, welcome back here on our jungle farm in the Philippines. Somehow we survive another year, so it's time to make another financial update for 2025. We start with our assets. First, that's the goats. At the end of 2025, we had 35 goats. We have another male goat that we buy, a buckling, which is a half Boer goat and half Anglo-Nubian. We buy it for breeding and we pay 17,500 for this. This is our biggest, our most expensive goat. And then we have 25 female goats and some young male goats. So we have 35 goats in total. That's worth around about 157,000 pesos. That's about 2,600 euros or 2,800 US dollars. Then next is the cows. First we have Busing. That is our new bull. We sold our old bull Maximo and we exchange it. So yeah, we buy the new one, Busing, the bull. We buy it for 55,000 pesos. That's 800 euros or 1,000 US dollars. And then we have our old cows that we buy last year. That was Jasmine, Lily, and Rose. And then Mumu was our old cow. That was worth 35,000. And so all of our cows combined now is 224,000 pesos or 3,300 euros. That's round about 4,000 US dollars. So the total value of all of our animals is 381,000 pesos. That's about 5,600 euros or 6,900 US dollars. Then next point is our revenue, the cash flow. So our goats, we sell two goats. That was Oreo and Choco. That was Choco was our old buckling. We sell this one for 7,330 pesos. That's a bit more than 100 euros. And then also Oreo, that was his son. So that was our only revenue from the goats. And then we sell our old bull. That was Maximo. We sell it for 47,000 pesos. That's around, yeah, around 700 euros. So our total value is last year it was our total revenue last year was about 60,000 pesos. That's 870 euros or 1,080 US dollars. Then next is the negative cash flow, our expenses. Then first we start with the cows. We buy Jasmine for 29,000. We buy Lily for 36,000 and we buy Rose for 34,000 pesos. That is the three cows that we buy last year, female cows. Then we pay 2,500 for the transportation, and then we buy some ropes and nose rings for them. And then also our bull Busing. We buy this for 55,000 pesos. Yeah, that's the expenses for our cows. Then the expenses for our goats. We buy the young buck Magnus that I told you before. We buy it for 17,500 pesos. That's a lot of money here for a goat, but it's also very big. It's 70 kilos, and we will use this one to upgrade our goats here. So it will make all of our goats pregnant, and then we will keep the new babies and sell the old ones. So our goats here would also get more fat, and yeah, that's an important investment that we made last year. Then we spent 2,200 for the colostrum milk. That is the milk that we use for the first day when there's a baby goat and the mother don't accept it. We need to feed them a colostrum milk, and that's only the milk for the first day. That's pretty expensive, but we use it to save like 2 or 3 baby goats last year, I think. Then we buy 12 blocks of licking salt. That's the salt that you need for the goats, also for the cows. It has salt, which is very important for them, and also different nutrients. Then we spend 9,800 for the medicine, different types of medicine, and there's also like an antibiotics spray for the ticks, and also some vitamins, injectable vitamins is also included in that, and deworming. And then we buy some dextrose powder, some little things like feeding tubes, because sometimes it's a tube that you use for feeding them, force feeding them. Medicine, for example, like the deworming. Then we pay transportation for Choco and Oreo when we sell them, to transport them down in the village. Then we buy some rubbers for castration of for the young goats. And then we buy 5 more goats for a total of 23,000 pesos. Then we pay someone for getting the food of the goats. Me and Jennifer, we traveled to the Netherlands for 3 months, so we have to hire someone to get the food for them. And we also pay a veterinary 5 times, because when we are here we hire a caretaker, and he's not really an expert about the goats, and he don't really take good care of them, and the goats get sick, and also some of the goats died, so we had to pay for a veterinary to come here and check for them. Yeah, that's the expenses for the goats. Then next point is the other expenses. That is, we buy 200 meter of net it's a nylon net for improving the fence. Then we buy 2,500 meters of electric wire. It's the wire we use for the electric fence. Then we finished the fence all around the land here. There was like 200 meters remaining, so we buy a cyclone fence for that, steel fence. That was 15,000 pesos. Then we buy 10 kilo of tire wire for 600. We buy 1,000 pieces of the screws for the electric fence. When you put the electric fence, there's an isolating screw that you put in the poles. That 1,000 piece, that was 4,900. Then we buy 1,500 pieces of the wall plugs. Yeah, the plastic plugs. We put it in the concrete fence, in the concrete poles, because you cannot just put the screw directly inside the concrete pole. So we need these plastic plugs. Then we buy the power box for the electric fence. That was 2,800. Then we buy a tester for the electric fence, because sometimes we have to check them. We have to check the fence from time to time if the voltage is still high, because when maybe it will get disconnected, or there's a lot of grass or branches touching the electric fence, then the voltage would also drop. So every few weeks we use this one to check the voltage of the fence. Then we pay someone to clean the land and plant the grass down here. I also make a video about that. Then we buy a sprayer for spraying the cows and goats with the medicine against the ticks, and we can also use it to spray a Roundup. Then we buy cable ties and fence accessories that were 650, and then we buy some glyphosate that is a Roundup for cleaning the land here. Then the last point is the labor. That is the highest point this time. What we spent a lot of money last year, because me and Jennifer go to travel, and we had to hire someone for 3 months, and then he was not really taking good care here, and then we pay him, and then later we have to get rid of him because he became sick and he died. So we hire someone else to take care of here after him, and then also someone who get the food. So that was pretty expensive. We didn't expect that. So first we pay for a caretaker for a few days. That was 2,400. Then another caretaker who stay here for like 2 months until he died. That was Teddy. We pay him 26,000. Then we pay another caretaker who came here after him. That was 10,000. Then we pay someone to clean the land here on the other side. There was a jungle, and we cleaned there and planted the grass. That was 3,200. Then we pay someone to finish the fence here. That was 3,600. Then we pay someone to clean down in our house. That was also like there was a nasty plants growing there, but we pay someone to clean there, and then we planted a napier grass there. Then we also pay someone to make a way down here, because the area is very steep, and on the other side of the land we planted grass there, and we pay someone to make a way there so that the cows can go there to this area. That was 1,600. Then we extend the electric fence. That was 400. Then we pay someone to get the water here, because sometimes it's not raining. It was not raining for a while, and then we run out of water, so we pay someone to get the water by motorcycle a couple of times. That was 560 pesos. Then we pay someone to plant a napier grass and other type of a grass down here. That was one time for 2,050 and one time for 2,400. So all of our expenses combined was 347,000 pesos. That's 5,000 euros or 6,300 US dollars. And the positive cash flow, our revenue last year, that was 59,000 pesos or 870 euros. So the total cash flow last year was minus 278,000 pesos or minus 4,800 euros. And then all of our assets at the end of 2024 was 193,000 or 3,200 euros, and then at the end of 2025 it was 381,000 pesos or 6,500 euros. So the change in assets in 2025 was 187,000 or 3,100 euros. That was mainly because we buy some goats, we buy some cows, and I write down only the assets that we can sell. So when we invest money in planting a grass or extending the fence, it's not included here. So really it's a bit more, but just the assets that we can sell, it changed that much in 2025. So when we take the total cash flow that we had last year, which is minus 287,000, and we add the change in assets, which was 187,000, then we have a combined profit of minus 100,000 pesos, which is minus 1,670 euros. Yeah, that's all the numbers for last year. I know in the last video I said I'm expecting this to be the first year that we make a profit, and yeah, it come a bit different. So we still lost a bit money, but we also make some important investments that not included here, like the fence and the Napier grass that we planted. So we also had some bad luck with the labor, with the guy that we hire here. So we have like 8 or 10 goats that died. So really we would have more goats that we can sell. So that was a bit sad last year, but we really make a lot of important investments, and there's not really much more that we have to invest here. The fence is like totally done right now. We just for this coming year 2026 we're just going to make little investments, like we plant some more Napier grass, and then we will put another electric fence for separating the areas here, so that we put our goats only on one area, and then on the other area we will plant more Napier grass, because that is the most efficient food. But that's part for another video. I'm also going to make more videos about that. So this is the 4th video that we make like this. If you want to see more videos from the previous year about our finances here of our farm in the Philippines, you can go to our channel and watch these videos, and then subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss the next video. If we survive another year here, I will make another update. So see you next year.